Imagine an asteroid is hurtling relentlessly towards Earth. What would you do? Where could you find shelter when the sky falls to the ground? Is survival even an option? Picture the scene. The sky, usually a source of calm and beauty, suddenly turns into a stage of destruction. Day turns into night as a gigantic asteroid penetrates the atmosphere, trailing fire in its wake. You feel the Earth trembling under your feet. The air seems to vibrate, and in that moment you know, the unimaginable is becoming reality. In this video, we take you on a journey through the critical phases of an asteroid impact, the time leading up to the impact, the moment of the impact itself, and the crucial hours afterwards. We will show you which strategies offer the best chances of surviving this catastrophic event. In this episode of How to Stay Alive. What happens after an asteroid impact? Step 1. Recognize and understand the warning signs. The moment scientists detect an asteroid on a collision course with Earth, a race against time begins. News reports are constant. The tension is palpable. The first and perhaps most crucial step? Recognize and understand the warning signs. In this critical phase, information is worth its weight in gold. Imagine sitting at home, your phone vibrates. It's an emergency alert. Authorities have confirmed an impending asteroid impact. The clock is ticking, every moment counts. This is not a time for panic, but for thoughtful action. Knowing the exact time and location of the impact is critical. It gives you the ability to act proactively, not run blindly into disaster. Follow the news closely but critically. Look for reliable sources, government announcements, scientific institutions. They offer the most accurate information. Note the time. How long until the impact? Is it an hour, a day, or a week? This information is key. It dictates whether you have time to move locations or if you must seek shelter immediately. The Earth may not be shaking yet, but inside, you can feel the quaking uncertainty. This is the moment where clear thinking can mean the difference between life and death. Step 2. Finding the optimal shelter. Now, armed with the knowledge of the time and location of the impact, the next urgent task unfolds before you. Finding the optimal shelter. This is not an ordinary storm you're seeking refuge from. This is an event that moves mountains and sends oceans into turmoil. Your home could be a safe haven, or it could turn into a trap. Time is pressing. The streets are filling with people who have the same goal, survival, but not every location offers equal protection. A basement? Yes, but only if it's deep enough. A concrete school building? Better than a wooden house. Don't forget the distance from the impact site. The further, the better. Now is the moment to keep a cool head. Think carefully. Where are the sturdiest buildings? Where's the population density lower to minimize debris damage? Forget roads that might easily jam and consider alternative routes. Have a place in mind? Then go without hesitation. Every second you lose could be the deciding one. As you move, you can feel the tension in the air. It's almost tangible. The people around you seem rushed, but you move with resolve, because you know that this knowledge, the right place at the right time, could be the key to your survival. Step 3. Assemble emergency supplies. Now you're on the move, but your hands aren't empty. They're filled with the critical emergency supplies. Every item you pack is more than just an object. It's your lifeline in a world being turned upside down. Water, the elixir of life. You need enough for at least 3 days. Non-perishable food is indispensable. Energy bars, canned goods, dry food. The clock keeps ticking, but you are methodical. A flashlight and spare batteries, because the night will be darker than any you've ever experienced. First aid supplies. They could be the difference between life and death when the medical system breaks down. A whistle, to make your presence known when the world around you has gone silent. You think of your family, your friends. Have you got enough for everyone? Communication is key. A charged phone and a portable radio to stay connected with the outside world when the lights go out. You think of warmth, packing blankets and clothing. There is no luxury in this selection, only necessity. And as you pack, there is that oppressive silence, broken only by the pounding of your heart. You know there is chaos outside, but inside your head there is order. Each item is a step closer to safety. Every moment you utilize now is a triumph against the invisible threat hurtling from space. Step 4. Find secure shelter now. With your backpack on your shoulders, every weight feels like an armor of survival power. The next mission? A shelter that is more than just 4 walls. A fortress against the encroaching devastation. Outside, the sky is nearly ablaze, a fiery prelude to the impending impact. The streets are a tangle of panic, but your steps are steady and determined. You're not heading for a basement, but for a place far from windows, able to withstand the brutal forces of the impact. An inner room, a bulwark against the annihilating energy soon to be unleashed. The ground beneath your feet seems to quiver, or is it fear? But fear is not an option now. You check the walls. Are they robust? The ceiling, will it hold? Every second counts, but you take those seconds to ensure this is the place where you and your loved ones will be safe. Your thoughts are as sharp as a razor as you assess the surroundings. Are there any flammable materials? What about the building structure? Is it earthquake resistant? Every detail is crucial. Outside, the world may be descending into chaos, but in here, in this moment, you are the architect of your own salvation. Step 5. Establish a communication network. In this wild, inhospitable time, communication becomes your lifeline. Your secure place is now a fortress, but it must not be an island. You reach for your phone, but the signal is weak. The towers outside could soon be shattered. It's time for Plan B, the radio. The air is electric, charged with the energy of uncertainty, and through these waves cuts the voice of a news broadcaster like a beacon of hope. You jot down every word, every frequency. Information is now as vital as water. With your family and friends, you need a code, a signal that you are safe. A simple all clear over the radio can feel like a sunbeam through the darkest clouds. Outside, sirens wail. Inside, the static of the radio is your link to the world. You consider how you can communicate with other survivors if the networks fail. Hand signals? Flares? You are prepared to send a message in a bottle if it comes to that. Your thoughts revolve around contact, around connection in a world that seems to be cracking apart. But you remain steadfast, firm in the belief that communication is the key that will guide you and others through this inferno. Step 6. The expedition into the unknown. The world around you has changed. Your safe zone is strong, but resources are running low. You strap on your backpack. It's time to journey into the unknown. With a compass in hand and a map you've drawn from memory and the radio's information, you set off. Each step is a blend of caution and courage. Your heart races as you wander through the empty streets, past shattered windows and abandoned cars. In the distance, you see smoke, a sign of people or danger. You follow a river, its course marked on your map, and find a source of fresh water. You fill your bottles and purify the water with tablets you've wisely brought along. Every sound makes you pause. Is it an animal, another survivor, or something worse? Your senses are heightened, your eyes fixed on your objective. You discover edible plants thanks to your knowledge of the local flora. The evening sun paints a golden picture, but you know, the night brings new dangers. With a firm grip on your radio, you send a sign of life back to your base. Out here, you are both hunter and hunted, perpetually alert and ready to meticulously plan your next move. Step 7. The pivotal encounter. With your feet firmly on the ground and your mind on high alert, you encounter the unexpected. Another group of survivors, heart-racing, friend or foe. Your hand firmly grips the handle of your knife, but you keep your distance. Communication is key now. You call out a friendly greeting, your voice steady but non-threatening. They respond cautiously. You exchange information, they have food, you have medical knowledge. A trade could be mutually beneficial. But trust is a rare commodity in this new world. You pay attention to their body language, watching for signs of deception. One wrong move could be fatal, but you also see the exhaustion in their eyes, the same you feel. Together, you could be stronger. You make a choice. You extend your hand. They hesitate, then they take it. In that moment, you realize you are now a team, a new pack in a wild, unpredictable world. But together with combined strength and sharp minds, you can survive. You sleep with one eye open that night, but also with a new spark of hope in your heart. Step 8. The Final Stronghold. After the storms, the encounters, and the battles, the final challenge stands before you, establishing a secure and sustainable refuge. With the rising sun at your back, you spot an abandoned building on the horizon. Your instinct tells you this is the place. But the building is not empty. Wild animals have made it their home. Your team stands shoulder to shoulder, resolute. With precise, efficient movements, you drive the animals out without harming them. Now the work begins. You organize teams. One builds barricades, another gathers food, a third prepares the water purification system. Every move is calculated, every decision counts. The sun blazes, sweat pours, but the walls are getting stronger, the supplies are growing. The first night in your new home is restless but secure. You stand in the cool night on the wall of your stronghold, looking into the darkness and know you have made it. In a world of chaos, you have created order. From strangers, you have formed a family. Here in this final stronghold, you have not just survived, you have created a new beginning. Haven't had enough? No problem. Click this video to learn how to survive a giant shark, the megalodon, and discover the mysteries of this ancient creature. Did the megalodon ever really exist?